Welcome back to the channel, y'all. So today we're gonna be, as you can kind of see here, we got these IBC totes, and we're gonna be wrapping these in kind of black plastic. And the reason we're doing that is to keep algae from getting inside here. If you've seen our previous videos, I believe it was on our top five useful items on the farm. This was one of them. And the reason why we use these is because we don't have a whole lot of spigots for our water around the farm. And so what we'd like to do is strategically put these in certain areas where we're going to need water constantly. And what we do is just drag a hose all the way out there and just fill it up. And these are 250 gallons. And so that's kind of what we do. It's just a lot better for us right now than dragging, 400 feet of hose somewhere, which we'll just drag that one time, fill this up, and this usually lasts, a couple months or maybe, however long. So we're not constantly dragging that hose out. So this is what we do without having the spigots. And we're trying to make it where they don't grow algae, and this is kind of how you do it. You wrap it in black plastic. So we're gonna get into that right now, and just stay tuned. All right, so before we get into cutting this tarp, just kind of want to talk about a little bit. If you plan on doing this yourself at your farm, the things you want to consider is you want to get a black plastic, okay? That's going to be the best thing for it. It also can kind of help a little bit in the winter with kind of keeping it a little warm because black absorbs sunlight. And the one other thing is you probably want to get the thickest type of plastic you can, like a 6 mil, or I don't know how high they go, but whatever is in your budget, just try to get as thick as possible. I don't know exactly how thick the one we have is. We just have this on hand. What this particular tarp is if you ever seen a trailer house, on the bottom of it, they have the black tarp that goes under it to hold the insulation in. That's what this is. I got it from a brother-in-law of mine, and I don't know the exact mill, but if I was to go out and buy it, you want to buy the thickest you can, around 6 or higher. And what that will do is it's a lot thicker, it's more durable, this is going to be out in the weather, and it's just going to last a lot longer than a smaller mill. So just keep that in consideration, but do what you got to do. Just make sure it's a black plastic, like tarp or something of that nature. One more thing, we're going to be cutting this, I believe it's going to be 10 feet by 14 feet. And that should be enough to wrap the whole entire tote. It's pretty much the concept. It's going to be a big Christmas gift. It's kind of what it is. I have Alex out here. She's really good at wrapping gifts. So she's going to be helping me do this. But that's what we're going to be doing right now. We'll kind of speed it up a little bit and then we'll come back to you.
Alright, so as you guys saw, we cut this to length, and it's a 10 by 14. Just like wrapping a big giant present. If you've ever wrapped a big present, it's pretty simple. It's just on a large scale. So cut your length 10 by 14. And some of you might be wondering why we aren't doing this outside and we're in this shop kind of moving things around. The wind's blowing about 100 miles per hour out there, so we're doing it in the shop, or this tarp would take off to the neighbor's pasture. So right now we're going to get the tote on here and start wrapping it up, and we'll show you guys that.
Alright, so as you see, we got it cut, we got the tote up on here, and some things you got to consider when you're doing this, okay? You're going to want your tote to be, so the the nozzle is on this side. So you're gonna want your nozzle to be on the kind of the 14-foot length. And the reason you want to do that is because whenever you fold it, it's gonna have enough room on each side that it's gonna overlap. So nozzle is gonna be kind of parallel with the 14-foot. Another thing we're gonna be doing here, and we'll show you, we're gonna be turning this upside down. Okay, and the reason you want to turn it upside down is because we're going to bring these sides and we're going to bring them over. And you want those seams to be on the bottom. Okay, it's just going to be better. You probably could do it on the top if you want to, but it's just going to be better to put them on the bottom, and then you're going to tape them. And if you had it on top, you could possibly have water seep in under and then get down on the sides, and it kind of could build up inside of the plastic. And having it on the bottom, the tape and stuff won't be exposed to the elements as much, so it's going to last a little bit longer. So that's kind of what we're doing and why we're doing it. Like we said, we're just going to flip this upside down, fold over the sides, and we're going to tape it up. And on the sides, if you ever wrap Christmas gifts, you know that there's a triangle. And you want the triangles to go down so it sheds the water a little bit better, but you want them on the sides. You don't want them on the front, okay? And that's the reason why we're doing parallel the 14-foot. And then on the side is the 10-foot. So we're going to do that right now. So as you can see, we fold this one side up here, and we are using Gorilla Tape right now because I know it's very durable, but you can use duct tape. And I don't know if we may not have enough. We may have to just get regular duct tape. But we're getting black Gorilla duct tape, and we just duct tape this one side down, as you can see. And then what we're going to do is throw this over the top and see how it overlaps there. Then we're going to get the tape, and we're going to go this whole entire length on the bottom, just here on the bottom, the whole length, and then we'll start actually wrapping the other sides.
Alright, so now we're going to get the sides done. This, keep in mind, this is still the bottom of the tote. So we're going to get the sides done to where the triangles are coming up, which would be actually facing down once we flip the tote back over. If it doesn't make sense, it'll make sense in the end, but that's what we're doing right now.
All right, so we got the sides taped up, as you can see. So what it kind of is you have your triangle that comes up here, and then this top one comes over and folds over the top of that. So everything kind of just runs down. Even without this tape being here, it would still run, and it just keeps, everything flows down. It's not going to get caught up inside of here. Even if it got down in here, the crack goes down to the end, so the water would flow out. It's not going to build up on the inside. So whenever you're doing this, just make sure everything is in a downward motion, so no water will get in. And then you just tape up the sides, so you just make sure it's really secure. All right, so we got to cut the top. Now the thing, because we have a lid on top of here, and we also will be using these for like kind of rain catchment systems whenever we can get a system in place. But the thing you want to do is whenever you cut into the hole, don't make a big hole, okay? You want to make it try as small as possible. Maybe do like an X pattern, like I did, and then just kind of pry it back just where it barely slips over, because you do not want any sunlight to be able to get in here. And if you have the lid on there, that's going to help not put the sunlight out, but you just want it as snug as possible. So just do very, very small hole, and then just try to pry it across on the outsides so it just snugs real tight. So we're gonna, cut a hole for the spout, and just like the same thing, try to make a small cut as much as you can, because you don't want the least amount of light in there as possible. If you do cut a little bit bigger one, or that's just the way it works, just put a little bit of tape around there. Just try to cover it up as much as you can. And it's just going to save you some headaches, if it does get algae in there. But the main purpose of all this, why we're doing it, is so it does not build up algae inside the container. So we're going to go get the cage and everything. We're going to put it back in here and get this thing and get some water in it. So we are pretty much done. We're just going to move this out to where we're going to use it. But guys, this is kind of our, I guess you'd say, first step. We really may want these for rainwater catchment. We just don't have a system up right now. That is a goal of ours to get. We need, get some gutters and stuff. But that's mainly why we have these and why we're doing this. And we're going to do this to all of them. We're going to wrap them all like this. So whenever we do get our kind of system going, we can just take these from wherever we're at and we can put them all together. But for right now, since we don't have that system in place, we are just using them as kind of, spigots around the farm. And that's another way you can use them. But we're going to get these out there and fill it up with some water. But as always, guys, subscribe to our channel. If you like this video, hit that like button. Got questions, leave them down in the comments. And there's a bell. Once you subscribe, you got to hit that bell, and that notifies you of new content when we put out. And you can be the first ones to watch it. But we hope you all liked this video. Hope it was informational. And y'all just take care, and God bless. Hey guys, before I get off here, I just remembered, this is probably, I forgot to tell you about this, but this is probably one of the easiest, or not easiest, but more convenient things about this. Something I kind of made right here. I don't know if you can see it, but I made just this little kind of coupling right here, and I put a little hose spigot on there, and then I got a hose, and whenever I just turn it on, it's not the best pressure, but it's definitely, if you ever seen one of these without this, it shoots out just like a roaring river. But if y'all want me to go more into depth on this little kind of setup, because we're going to be doing some more totes, and I'm going to need to make these. If that's something y'all are interested in, just leave them down in the comments, and I'll go over exactly how I made this.